Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu shehakol b'dvarim.
Amen.
Amen.
Chaim Chaim Bracha. Okay, need a little wake up. I don't know about the rest of you folks, but if I sleep longer, I wake up tireder. And I woke up a bit later than usual, and I feel tired. I need this l'chaim. Okay, so we're on our Tu B'Shvat. Tomorrow is tonight. Tomorrow is Tu B'Shvat. We're trying to understand this holiday. The holiday, the Rosh Hashanah of the trees, which is according to the opinion of Hillel, according to Beis Shammai, it's Rosh Hashanah, the new year for trees, is Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the month of Shvat. Today's the 14th, tomorrow's the 15th. Tu B'Shvat is Tes Vav in Hebrew. Tes is the ninth letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Vav is the sixth letter. 9 and 6 equals 15. And the reason we don't call it Yud and Hey, because that's God's name. Yud, the letter Yud, and Hey is the beginning of God's name. It's a name in and of itself. And therefore we don't call the days of the month, you know. Okay. So we explained that everything in the physical world is a reflection of the spiritual world. So you have the idea of a soul coming down that is Zriya, which is a seed. It's put into the ground, which is the body. And the point is, you come down, a lofty soul, a divine soul, comes down into this earthly, limited, in a time of exile, dark place. And the purpose is in order that there should be a greater aliyah, a greater ascent. And that's through growth as a seed. Is Semeach is sprouts. So does the soul and the body sprout. And that's through Torah mitzvahs. That's the generality. Now we're going to go through the three holidays, beginning with with Pesach, which is the first holiday. Why is it the first holiday, by the way? Well, simply because it's on a simple level. Historically, it's the first thing that happened. Then happened Shavuos, the giving of the Ten Commandments, and then Sukkot, which was the journey in the desert. Another reason is because the months begin with first of the year is Rosh Hashanah, Tishrei, the first of Tishrei. The first months of the year is Pesach, is Nisan. Okay, so the three holidays. The first holiday, Chag HaMatzah, is the holiday of matzah, which is the way it's called in the Torah, right? About matzah. It's not called Chag HaPesach, not called the holiday of Pesach in the Torah. That's the way the Jewish people call it. So won't go into that now. So it is the sprouting and the complete um, uh, growth of barley, which barley, the word barley in Hebrew is sa'orim. And the word sa'ira, sa'irim. So it is the concept of fear. We'll explain what fear here. Actually, it's the shar harishain. The first level, in order to have a relationship with God, is the concept of fear. Which fear, the lower level of fear, which I'm going to explain, we'll see in the word, means that there is a presence of God, present acknowledgement. There is a sense of servitude, like a servant serving the master, right? So that's the entry level, because it means there's someone greater than us that we are obliged to serve. That's the entry level. That's the first holiday, entry level in divine service. And in order that you can come to cleave and connect to God. And this is the word sa'ira, is made up of the word sa'or hey. And the word sa'or comes from the word shar, shin, ayin, resh. In other words, the vav is the sa'or. So the root of the word is shar, or so. So we pronounce it sa'or, right? But the letters letters are written without vowels. So the word sa'ar can also be read as the word sha'ar, which means a gate. It means that there's a relationship between the two words. And then we're making the relationship that the word sa'ar, barley, and sha'ar, the same letters. And then we took off the letter hey from sa'ira. I'm sorry, if I had it written out over here, I would show you. So you would see it's a beautiful play on the words. So you have shar hey, the gate for the letter hey. Well, hey in God's name, right? The two heys, the latter hey is referring to fear, the fear of God. The former hey is more the love of God. And this is in God's name we're talking about, right? Yud and a hey, vav and a hey. We've learned this idea before many times in Tanya. In particular, the third part of Tanya, when we speak about Igeris HaTshuva, the epistle, the teachings of Tshuva penitence. In any case, so Pesach refers to this idea of fear. I don't know who's going to go into here. No. Furthermore, just to play, on the holiday Pesach, well, it's Chag HaMatzah. It's the holiday of matzah. Well, what's matzah? Well, we ran out of Egypt, so they didn't have time to, right? Why do you run? We ran out because the sense of fear, right? Wasn't a, wasn't wasn't so much out of love, right? It was, the Egyptian firstborn is being killed. It's more out of in Chassidus, the Alter Rebbe explains in Tanya, why did Moshe say to Pharaoh, that we're going to go for 3 days only. And he runs after them after the third day. On the fourth day, he comes after them because, well, they were coming back. Anyways, he's coming after them, right? Because they only said for what? Why only 3 days? Because Pharaoh is the embodiment of evil. And evil you have to run from. And he had a control, the embodiment of evil has a control, right? That you've got to leave it. But ultimately, freedom isn't from running from a place, but it's being in a good space. So ultimately, it's not running from evil. That the power of evil, you got to, has a power over you, so you got to run from it. Um, right? And we're not talking about outside evil, right? Pharaoh represents that in us, right? The negativity in us. Well, the first thing you got to do is run from it. After that, then, you have to not just run from evil, but then you have to embrace good. But matzah, right? The fact that it didn't rise, we didn't have the time because we were in a hurry, represents the idea of leaving from evil. Well, that's a concept of fear. When you have a presence of God and there's something negative there, then you run from that. So, for example, if you have a negative thought in your mind, right? The only one that's privy to that negative thought that you have in your mind is God Almighty. Well, if you have the presence of God, that you have the presence of God in your mind, in your, you know, then if you're having that negative thought and you become aware of it, what do? You run from it. You push it away, right? You push it away with two hands. That's called running. That's the concept of fear. Well, that's what matzah is. That's the first holiday. That's what barley, which is what ripens at that time of year in the spring. I don't think in Canada, but in Israel, right? That ripens. That barley is the first gate, the gate of hay, the letter hay in God's name. It's the first thing in your relationship with God Almighty. If you followed all of the details there, it's like, wow. Is that like, you see that the words of Torah is God's language. Okay. By the way, barley is animal feed. Animals, right? This is the animal in us, is also the fear of disconnect. That's right. The fear, because of the animal in us, so there's a concept of fear of disconnect. We don't want to disconnect from God. Okay, now we come to the second holiday. Second holiday is we call Chag HaShavuos, right? And and agriculturally, it is the sprouting of chitim. Chitim is wheat. Wheat is human food. Barley is animal feed, right? And Oh, sorry. Okay. And what's human? What's Adam? What's for Adam? It's Torah. What's the uniqueness of the human? Right? Animal is more emotions, negative emotions, positive emotions, right? But it's emotions. The uniqueness of human is mind, right? That the mind has dominion over the heart. That's the uniqueness of Torah. Well, what was given Shavuos is the Torah, right? And Chita, or Ches Tes He, is numeric value 22, which is the 22 letters of the Torah that's being communicated to us. And that also, what is unique about Adam, humanness, is communication, both intelligence, the intelligence of Torah, which Torah was given Shavuos, and that intelligence is to be communicated through the 22 letters, chita, numeric value of the word, that is um, to be expressed, communicated through the 22 letters of Torah. This is the connection also of Shavuos to fruits of the tree, even though we're speaking about chita, we're talking about wheat, because according to one opinion, and I'm not, I don't have one opinion in the Talmud, in the tractate Brachas, the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda is that chita has the classification of a tree. I don't think that's the opinion, the final opinion in halachic ruling, but in any case, so that again, tree is the idea of Adam Eitz Sadar, tying in with Tu B'Shvat, right? That a man is like a tree in the field, the verse says in Deuteronomy. So it's referring to that, and that's the idea of it of Shavuos, because that's when Torah is given, and man is the embodiment of Torah, Adam at least, the term Adam, and the embodiment of it. So even according to this opinion, it's only a classification of a tree, but it's not a real tree. Um, again, uh even according to the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda, you don't make a blessing on wheat or a pre ha'etz that it is the fruit of the tree, but has some kind of classification. I'd have to look at the Talmud there. I'm not clear. So this is the level of Torah then that is connected to mitzvahs. It says Torah, there's a classification, as we're going to see further, of Torah that is in a classification of its own, meaning that it is, as we will learn, and that's what Tu B'Shvat is, a holiday of trees. Right here, we're connecting with the tree, but it's the concept of Torah that is connected to mitzvahs. Food of barley and wheat are the concept of mitzvah. Um, and here, the tree, that there's a classification of tree when we're speaking about wheat, and that's is only meaning the way Torah teaches us about the mitzvahs, right? As opposed to what we will learn. Um, well, still got more to learn over here, and to explain this idea. Okay, we're going to explain how barley and wheat are the concept of mitzvahs. Excuse me, and tree that's a fruit-bearing tree is the concept of Torah. And the uniqueness of Tu B'Shvat, in a sense, greater than the three biblical holidays, which is, but we've got a lot to go till we get there. But, just giving you how it's shaping up. All right, we'll see you soon, folks. Chumash Rashi.